Hunter. This is Hunter x Hunter chapter 400.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that, actually.
Secrecy is the name of the chapter. Last we left off, because this is another chapter that we missed last week because we were off. The Nobunaga and the Haley guy, Henrik, actually found the Haley headquarters and had a little bit of a scuffle with the Haley people, and got a feel for their not curse techniques, their Nen abilities.
Their Hatsu.
Yeah. There's a guy who has the ability to like transfer attacks to another place, I guess. Like if you throw a knife at him, he can make the blade come out of a soda can. There's another guy who creates toy soldiers out of Nen. So, they got a gauge for some of them, and they were able to escape.
Well, they were actually forced out.
Oh yeah, they were forced out by the toy soldier guy. So they decided to split off and look into other leads. This chapter starts off with Finks and Phaeton looking at the transmitter to find out exactly where on the ship the Haley headquarters is. They said they're in the middle of this like big, I guess, shopping complex, and they said that it's like 100 to 200 meters away, but they can't be because they're in a big open space. So they figure they're either above or below them. After a lot of dialogue and reuniting with Nobunaga, they realize that they are in tier 2, actually, that they have the highest chance of being in tier 2, which makes sense because the boss of the Haley Haley, right? They're high class, so makes sense for them to be in the second tier. So they start kind of like talking about their strategy. Phaeton is like, we should go straight to the Cha'ar headquarters, and Nobunaga insists that they probably take Franklin with them because they don't know how many people there are, and it'd be best not to be ambushed or taken by surprise.
Actually nervous. That he's acknowledging that there might be a situation that could be a little too much.
Yeah, they're developing their abilities, and it might help to have Franklin with us. Yeah. So at that point, we then cut back to the princes for the first time since the hiatus came back, right? We haven't spent much time with them. We start off with the what's her face? This is a prince I don't really super remember. I know he has like she has a specific name that shit.
Fuck. I just fucking
I just read it too.
Yeah, shit. I'll look into it. You talk about the cult one?
Yeah. Is this a boy, they said? Because he says him.
I'm not sure.
Anyway.
You're talking about Tyson?
Tyson!
There
you go. Thank you. Yeah,
that's what it
Tyson
was.
Yeah, it's a girl. They explained that they referred to them all as princes.
Yeah.
But some are female, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, she has these guys there that like her bodyguards, she has them acting out characters that they like, I think. So yeah, there's that. There's Kurapika's teacher, who I forget his name right now, but he's the guy who's watching after Tyson, and is trying to figure out a way to use Tyson's ability to get the king to call off the succession battle. So
Izunavi is his name.
Izunavi, yeah. And he basically asked her, is like, hey, were you able to distribute the book that you use? Basically, I guess her book. I don't know what her book does specifically. I don't know if you guys remember it all, but
it's like her cult thing. It's like people who read it get converted to her cause.
Okay. So basically, his bet is that like he could get the king to read it, and thus get the king to cancel the succession battle. And through a little bit of dialogue, they explained that like she tried to get him the book, but who knows if it actually got to her. We then cut over to 1010, the room 1010, where like Kacho and Fugetsu, I guess, like their joint place. With Fugetsu and Kacho was recently killed off because I think if you try to leave the boat and you're a prince, you just like die or something. And she learned the hard way, but she was resurrected in the form of like this Nen spirit thing. So
Yeah, I think it's the Nen Beast. Like what was it exactly? I think it was a Nen Beast, right? Is the product of a Nen Beast?
yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
it was Kacho's.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
one who
She's a Nen
died. The one
Beast.
who died. Her
Kacho, yeah.
Nen beast
If
resurrected
either
as
one
her.
of them died, the other one would become the
Yeah.
Nen Beast. That's
One
what
or the
it
okay.
was.
other. Yeah, that was. But I think it was Kacho's ability. It was part of her ability or something like that, because she could also like affect the doors. I'm not. It was something like that. Like the first prince, or not the first prince. The one with the darker hair, she could open the doors, and I think the
Fugetsu.
one that passed away, yeah, Fugetsu was the one that could open the doors, and I think Kacho can determine where they lead to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now
Or
Fugetsu
something
can
like
go
that.
through, can open a door and go through it.
Yeah.
All around, yeah.
And anyway, in any case, they're talking about this whole thing with Melody there in the room and this guy from the Justice Bureau. And yeah, basically they're trying to find a way to use this advantage because everybody thinks that Kacho is dead at this point. So, and she's obviously technically not. So they're trying to figure out a way to use that to their advantage. And they mentioned that Melody has been called to talk to the princes. For one thing, to play her song, which is her Nen ability, but also to kind of interrogate her because they know that this Nen ability was used in conjunction with the attempted assassination on a prince, I believe. So yeah, they're just like, well, we want you to go in there and we want you to play your song, and while they're blacked out from the playing of the song, we'll come in and assassinate them. We'll drop poison into their mouths while they're blacked out. And if it doesn't work, then they'll die. But if it works, some princes get knocked off. So at this point, Melody herself is just like, is this like a trap? Because he just says like, Melody, I'm in love with you. And he just says this all with too straight of a face for her to be like, yeah, okay, buddy. Is this a trap? Is he trying to manipulate me? What the fuck is going on here? So yeah, Kacho goes off to, I guess, to meet up with Fugetsu and let her know of the information that they learned, sans her being dead. And they go through the Justice Bureau guy goes to the VIP witness protection area, and he talks to Mr. Steiner and asks him that if one of the princes come through here to press this button, or the prince's men or the royal army comes through here, press the button, and yeah, it's a whole lot of jargon. I didn't really understand all this stuff, to be honest. It's a lot of stuff going on. Kacho meets up back at Fugetsu's room, and she finds a door in her bed. And that's where we learned, as Brian mentioned earlier, that Fugetsu now has the ability to open doors and decide where they go and return through them. But all this use of her ability seems to have like tired her out. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. It's not looking good for Fugetsu. And what's her face? Kacho is trying to warn her of like, hey, maybe you should take it easy. This doesn't look good. You don't look good right now. And Fugetsu just grabs her arms and is like, I know that you've been protecting me. Now it's my turn. So, after a certain point, Kacho convinces Fugetsu to just get a little bit of rest. And Fugetsu does so. She basically passes out. Um, so yeah, after all this, as Melody is walking down the hallway at some point, she passes through by Fugetsu, and she's just being like stalked by these fucking spirits. It's real creepy. And Melody's like, Fugetsu's aura is so weak, and she's mentally unstable, and evil spirits are being attracted to her. This isn't good. So, her life is obviously in danger from the constant use of her Nen ability. Melody arrives at the interrogation spot. The third prince is there, and he asks her one thing. He's like, I have two requests. I'd like to hear your song again, and I'd like you to take this as a token of, as proof of my respect, which is one of the coins that he manufactures using his Nen Beast. I forget what they do. I don't know if their effect has really been revealed yet.
It hasn't been revealed yet.
Cool.
No.
Okay, so at the same time, I believe she's also interviewed by Vantine, who is a representative for Serendich, if that's how you pronounce his fucking name. And he says
Saradnik. It's
Saradnik. Saradnik. And he tells her that, like, His Highness would like to invite you to his headquarters. Would you accept? And he's like, it's not my call, really. I don't. I'm protecting some other people, so I can't really just bounce. So she's like, I think we can negotiate here. And the guy is like, she senses doubt and confusion from the guy. So she's like, the fourth prince isn't behind this either. So 3 more to go. And then we cut back to them at Melody with the Justice Bureau guy. He's like, even if you play at the banquet, you don't think we should follow through with our plan? And she's like, no, we don't know. We shouldn't fucking do anything until we know who's behind Prince Fugetsu's changes. So we have to find out what's going on with her before we do anything. So she's like, I think she tells the guy to go see Kurapika and tell him everything because he's the only trustworthy person there. So, Melody's just trying to like figure out who the fuck did it. And meanwhile, we cut back over to room 1014 where Kurapika is. And
Kurapika is drowning in an endless sea.
And he says that I don't need divination. Will you agree to our contract? And Kurapika agrees yes, and that he will cooperate with Prince Tubepa, which I believe is the 5th prince.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scientist prince.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
5th prince. And that's where Huh?
It's actually a female too.
Yeah. And that's where the chapter ends for a long time, as Hunter x Hunter is back on hiatus, baby.
Right. I have a lot to say about Hunter x Hunter, so can I go first?
Yeah, go for it, Brian.
All right. So,
can we not have a moment of silence
at the end? I want to celebrate the series first before I leave it one last time for however long it's gone.
All right.
So,
Damn,
how
Brian.
do I start? All right. So the last few chapters uncovered a lot. First things first. We kind of get a glimpse as to what Nobunaga's Hatsu might entail with his whole sword extension thing that he did. But he seems pretty confident without his sword, which is also very interesting. And when it comes to the Haley hideout, boy, do I have a theory for you guys. I haven't seen most people. Well, maybe somebody has talked about it already, and I just haven't noticed, or I haven't seen it anywhere. But
it's all you, Brian.
I have a theory that the Haley hideout is actually inside of Morena in a Nove style Hatsu, where she allows her followers to enter her domain, essentially. And the trap doors are what allows them to enter Morena's space. My theory is because a lot of what the hideout entails is that Morena has to be close. And it's also entailing that the space is made of Nen, or at least reinforced with Nen. So my theory for why the base is made with Morena's Hatsu is, one, when Nobunaga's like, all right, this Nen is actually really fucking strong. She has to be nearby. And there was this very ominous look at Morena. We saw a very ominous panel of Morena kind of
just
being a little creepy.
Yeah.
The second is actually what's his name again? The police officer guy.
Police officer guy.
Let me see.
The toy soldier guy.
Hold on, I got it over here. Yokutani. So Yokutani's Hatsu, which is the LSRF or some shit like that. So he has like a series of restrictions on his Nen, and one of them is that Morena has to be nearby in order for him to activate it. So that's already two situations where Morena has to be nearby in order for it to work. Now, how do they guarantee that Morena is always nearby? The base is Morena. That's I feel like would be a perfect loophole, because they made it a point to take them out from the trap door as well, so that they, like, obviously, you know, they could have just taken them out so they can't know where the base is, but the base moves. They've talked about it. The base fucking moves. So the base being on the move could entail that it's a person carrying it, essentially. Maybe not Morena, but maybe it is Morena, which would make sense. So I feel like I caught on to him.
She could grant abilities and create this Hatsu. What is Hatsu again?
Hatsu is it's Nen abilities. It's the in series way of saying Nen abilities, essentially.
Oh, okay.
So Bungee Gum is a Hatsu. Like,
right.
So that would mean that Morena is a emitter, essentially, because, you know, she's granting people powers. No, emitter. Nove is an emitter. So his whole castle thing, that's emission. So that means if she's gonna make a base like that, it would probably have to be emission.
Well,
all right.
No.
I don't have anything to dispute it, so I'll take your word for it.
All right, on to my next point. When it comes to the Tababe. Oh, actually, no. I'll get on to Tababe. So Tababe is the scientist prince. Who is actually working with Saradnik. So that brings, probably, I'm not sure if it's unintentional or not, but this just brought Kurapika closer to an encounter with Saradnik. Probably, and it probably isn't going to end well if Saradnik has gotten marginally better at Nen, considering what we've seen him do already.
Bro. He's got two Nen beasts already.
Yeah.
He's got the one that was given to him, and he's got one he just conjured up from being an asshole. No, I'm dead ass.
I know.
Even a joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
no, that's how he conjured it up, for
that's
sure.
what the lady said, right? He's like, just out of pure nastiness.
Pure spite and anger.
But yeah, like, it just appeared, and it looked so creepy.
Yeah.
So I just wonder what Kurapika stands to gain from partnering with Tabape, unless he actually did know somehow that Tabape is partnered with Saradnik. So I just wonder, like, what do you guys have any ideas of what she could bring to the table to Kurapika and Prince Wobble or whatever the fucking baby's name is?
Yeah,
Science.
I guess science.
Science, but I feel like Kurapika knows more about Nen than anybody in that.
But does he know about does he know about earth science?
You're right. My
Chemistry.
bad.
That's true. But they're at sea though. They're at sea
living
though.
environment.
What will earth science do you?
No, he doesn't. I don't think Kurapika does. I think all he cares about is the eyes.
Yeah.
Everything else is secondary.
Yeah, I don't really know if he has like
Even
any
education.
knowledge. He doesn't have it. I don't know if he has any knowledge that Saradnik is working with Tubeppa. But I mean, on a base level, it's protection for his prince, you know, like an ally who's a baby and can't protect herself at all. So there's that. I don't know. I feel like this is something that Kurapika has probably thought of before, and maybe before the hiatus stuff is just something that slipped our minds because there's a lot of fucking information to remember for this arc. So yeah, I'm not entirely
I'll do some
sure.
research.
But
after like maybe next week I'll have like an update.
Yeah. Were those all your thoughts? Do you have any other thoughts on the show?
Let's see. So the sudden interest in Melody, I feel like that's pretty interesting. It seems like Melody's whole performance kind of put her on the map in front of all the princes, and now they probably want her on their side.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the nature of it. So she has a lot of potential to kind of turn shit around for people, kind of lull people into her own, onto other people's side, and kind of act as kind of a bargaining chip, I think. So her ability is actually a lot more powerful in this arc than I originally thought.
Yeah, I would think that because they mentioned that they wanted to try her, you know, for being involved in this assassination attempt or whatever. So I think they're just trying to get a needle onto, like, you know, like tying her together with what happened. So that's another possibility. I don't know if they really want her on their side so much as they're trying to catch her and prove her guilt or her corroboration with something. But
okay, I see. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I guess those are all my thoughts for now. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have plenty more later.
Nice.
Because I love this series so much.
Josh,
and I'm sad that it's gone.
Josh, what did you think?
Well, aside from the immense sadness and disappointment that I found on the last page, this was a dense chapter. And I mean, Hunter x Hunter is generally dense, but it was, I guess, all of the plot points that was touched on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any big theories, to be honest. I mean, the whole Char Haley stuff is interesting with the Night Troop, but keeping it a stack, I'm much more interested in the Secession battle. So it was cool that they brought it back. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I don't know if she's being attacked by another prince. She being not Kacho, the sister.
Fugetsu.
Yeah, Fugetsu. I don't know if she's being attacked or this is just her own aura, like attracting this shit.
I think it's her.
She just seems really interested. Huh?
I think it's her own aura.
Right. I don't think she's being attacked. It's just weird. I don't know how she got like that. She doesn't know her sister's dead. Or maybe she did find that out. Maybe she knows.
So there's two things. So there were a bunch of Nen creatures in this area before that weren't Nen beasts. Yeah, it was revealed earlier. But these could be Nen beasts that are being targeted, that she's being targeted by. So those are two options. These can't be Nen beasts that are given to you by the Succession War though. So these are targeted. These are created by somebody, probably, most likely. So that's partially what Melody's trying to figure out, is who the fuck is going after Fugetsu right now.
All right. Well, any other thoughts, Josh?
Nah, man, I don't want to fucking talk anymore about this. I'm really sad. I hope it's not another few years. Hopefully just a couple months or something like that.
Yeah. I also really enjoyed this chapter, even though it was like really dense, and sometimes it's tough for me to remember details for Hunter x Hunter just because there's so many characters, so many chapters, so much dialogue that, you know, full of information and exposition that you have to remember. But I enjoy it all the way. On the hiatus, from what I understand, is they realized that he just can't do this shit weekly. So I looked into the details of the hiatus, and although it is like kind of indefinite, we don't know when he's coming back. The idea is that when he comes back, it probably won't be weekly. So honestly, I'm okay with that. I'd be down if Hunter x Hunter was just monthly. It's fine. It doesn't have to happen. Maybe he could do more pages and or, you know, the same amount of pages. Ashihara
more pages.
I don't know.
Imagine this series with more pages.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what it needed.
It's already dense enough.
No, yeah. I mean, you know, you can Ashihara him, give him the same amount of same amount of pages, but just like once a month. I'm okay with that.
Speaking of, where the fuck is World Trigger?
It comes back. It was off last month. It'll be back, hopefully. Knock on wood somewhere. It'll be back next week, hopefully. That's crossed fingers. So, yeah, I mean, do the Ashihara method. If someone can't do it long term and they still want to do it, let them do it monthly.
And as long as we're getting it.
Yeah, it's also like Togashi's not rushing through this story at all. Like, he is really taking his sweet fucking time.
He is taking his time, and I love that.
I'm fine with it too, obviously, but it's also like there is something commendable about him being like, I'm telling my story.
What is it? Is it his spine also?
It's his spine, yeah. I think it's his spine that's really fucked up.
Jesus, man, how's your spine, Chris?
My spine's okay.
Wait, what?
My spine's okay.
Is something wrong with your spine? Have I not known that there's something wrong with your spine?
I think I'm fine. I think Josh is just checking in on my spine.
How's your spine, Josh?
Hey, we should do
spine check.
Yeah, we should do a monthly spinal check. So
monthly spinal check.
Everybody's spine in check.
Is everybody's spine good?
Quick. Sorry to interrupt the podcast real quick, guys, but just want to make sure everybody's spine doing all right?
Is your shit aligned?
We have to do.
Do you have scoliosis?
Your chair got lumbar support?
Yeah, this podcast is on hold for a quick spinal check.
Just a quick spinal check.
Are you guys really friends if you don't check on your friends' spines? Always check on your friends' spines. All right. Well, I don't have many thoughts on Hunter x Hunter. It is very sad, and I hope it comes back soon. And Togashi, of course, is in good health while doing it. Honestly, like, it's always the goated ones that deal with the most stress with their health and stuff. And I wish nothing but help for Togashi. Already a Hall of Famer in terms of manga. So
all right, real quick. Kuga versus Kurapika. Who you got in the fight?
Yuma Kuga versus Kurapika?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's an incompatible thing. Their power systems are incredibly different.
I guess.
Can Kurapika put the Phantom Troop ability on him?
No, not the chain one. That's too easy.
Yeah.
All right, so I think
Yuma. I'll take Yuma.
I think Kurapika just loses without that.
I think Kuga would probably just dice him up. I mean, Kurapika could fight though too. He's not.
But the thing about Kuga,
I just can't compete.
Yeah, but
he would have to be able to break his Tryon body too.
They're like legitimately
could use the chain, but it would only affect the Tryon body. He would have to do it twice.
Yeah, the thing about Yuma is that like somebody in World Trigger is like he just finds the most efficient way to kill you, and just does it.
He figures it out if you can't take him out in time.
All of Yuma's most like deadliest kills were just like that. He just comes out of nowhere and he just takes you out.
I think Cougar versus Killua would be a better matchup.
Yeah.
Anyway, Killua's kind of lame. Sorry, fans. Sorry, fans of Killua, but he's kind of whack.
What do you mean? He's fucking awesome.
He used to be that nigga. Now it's all
Stop the
about
slander. Stop the Killua slander.
Killua's cool.
He's cooler than Gon, that's for sure.
He's what?
He's cooler than Gon.
To a dude whose ability was a floating hand.
Killua?
Yeah, remember he lost.
Are we thinking of the same guy?
Yeah, he lost to shoot. Remember shooting Knuckle?
Oh, he lost to the hand guy.
Yeah, he lost to the fucking hand guy.
Whatever, man.